Today I'm going to fly the world's longest commercial flight, non-stop from Singapore to New York, giving me a bit over 18 hours to enjoy Singapore Airlines' highly praised business class. With several meals served on this ultra-long-haul flight, this flight review is also a borderline food review, presented by a complete non-foodie. Hello and welcome to Singapore, my starting point of this epic long-haul journey. I arrived from Delhi the day before, so I had a whole day to do a little exploration before heading back to the airport. A very good morning from Singapore. I'm going to fly the world's longest flight on the Airbus A350-900 ULR. The terminals at Singapore Changi Airport are easily connected with a SkyTrain, which is an experience by itself. Look at this stunning check-in hall. No wonder this airport is frequently voted the world's best airport. I'm on my way to the Singapore Airlines Silver Chris Lounge, where I have about 2 hours to enjoy their food and amenities. The lounge is quite extensive, even a map is provided to ensure a smooth navigation. It's time to head to the gate. This Airbus A350-900 is the ULR version, standing for Ultra Long Range, and Singapore Airlines is the only airline operating this variant of the A350. This variant is equipped with only 161 seats, 67 in business class and 94 in premium economy class. That's almost 40 seats less than Ryanair has in their Boeing 737 narrow-body jets. And since all passengers are carrying a premium ticket, a priority boarding didn't make much sense, and we all could board as we please. There was no big crowd anyway. Welcome on board this magnificent A350 ULR with a business class cabin in a 1-to-1 layout. The premium economy class is in a 2-for-2 layout, so there you are a maximum of 1 seat away from the aisle. My seat today is 15 Alpha in the 6th row from the front, as the business class starts with row 10. A welcome drink was served promptly, and an orange juice it was for me today.
Alright, start it! Alright.
And that's the size of the screen compared to the hand of a 1.92 m tall guy. As with every good business class, a refreshing hand towel is provided. On my seat I find this large pillow. But before I continue with my seat tour, I better get ready for departure as we are leaving the gate shortly. What I miss a bit, as quite often unfortunately, is the individual air fan. I think it's becoming rare with the new aircraft. I don't know if you notice it, you can see how full and heavy the wings are by observing how low the wingtip is.
Pull the mask down sharply. Place it over your mouth and nose, hands on top of your head. Keep your feet flat on the floor and inflate the low vest by pulling your red tabs. Airlines, we hope you have a great time on board as well as in Singapore or anywhere else in the world we take you.
taxi roll to the runway takes quite a while, so let me show you some of the storage space I have here. And here's also a coat hook if needed. We are lining up on the runway for immediate departure. And here I got the feeling of the impressive weight of our fully fueled aircraft, as the takeoff roll took forever. These seat wings provide some pleasant privacy, and also notice the missing center overhead bins, providing a more roomy cabin feeling. The seats come with these simple and easy to use controls for lighting and seat positions. And since we are airborne for the next 18 hours, it's time to get a bit more comfortable. On my left, I find this removable handheld to control my entertainment screen. Here is the dining table and also this little storage place for the headphones and a bottle of water. A bit further, there is a place for the menu, the safety card and the onboard Wi-Fi connection information. And of course, the onboard shopping magazine. Additional storage space can be found beside my left shoulder. There is also a reading light and the headphone socket and the power outlets for various formats. An additional selection of lights I find on my right side, a different lamp for different needs. The entertainment screen can be released here to allow a downward tilt when in sleeping position. Singapore Airlines doesn't offer any amenity kits unfortunately, but instead I found a pair of house shoes, a pair of socks and eye shades. Other amenities such as combs or dental kits are upon request. Amazingly, these house shoes almost fit on my size 13 foot. Let's have a quick glance at the Chris World entertainment options. You find anything you would expect on a flight in business class like this one. Movies, flight path, live TV, music, games, connection information, in-flight menu and so on. A staggering total of 407 movies are available. A pre-lunch drink was served and I went for the Silver Chris Sling, a gin and champagne-based cocktail, together with a selection of nuts. Let's do a quick visit to the bathroom of this A350 ULR. It's not very large at all, but nicely stocked with cotton hand towels and different creams and lotions. Cups can be found here as well, and I like the touchless trash bin opener. Dental kits are available as well, it seems. We are about 1 hour into the flight with 17 to go. I made my movie selection. That should keep me busy for the next 5 hours. I pre-ordered my lunch through the Book the Cook option, but let's have a look at the menu anyway. Feel free to pause if you like to have a closer look. These are the Singapore Airlines branded noise-cancelling headphones, together with a pair of covers for additional hygiene. Lunch is coming, and it kicked off with an appetizer, marinated smoked salmon. My pre-booked main dish, yes, I know, I couldn't resist, is this fabulous grilled Angus beef burger with portobello mushroom, onion jam, cheese and tomatoes. I already had my lobster on my Singapore Airlines flight from Delhi to Singapore. Dessert consisted of this 2 hard-frozen ice cream. Since I have complimentary onboard Wi-Fi, let's see if I find myself on Flight Radar 24. Seems we are soon flying past the Philippines. As much as I like the business class seat, the table release on the left armrest is a bit of an annoyance. I think I released the table about 24 times during these 18 hours. Night has fallen and I briefly visited the premium economy class section to give you an impression. I quite like the floor lighting when returning to the business class section. Pretty cool. The forward galley also has a small but slightly uninspiring snack tray. A few hours have passed and we are flying along Japan, and since I'm not tired yet, I decided to set up my office to do some backups and editing. In the meanwhile, we are abeam Tokyo, a sight I don't want to miss. What a stunning view of nighttime Tokyo, wow! It was time for the mid-flight dinner, traditionally kicked off with the yummy Singapore chicken satay. Chicken satay and an Avengers movie at 40,000 feet. Life can be good. A bellini before the appetizer, and then I was served the prawns with lemon-scented oil from the menu. My main was beef with mashed sweet potato and veggies. The beef wasn't as incredibly tender as I know it from Miat Mongolian Airlines, but still tasty and flavorful. It was a bit of work to cut through it, I must say. I skipped the dessert and the cabin attendant offered me to prepare the bed for me, which is done by folding the backrest forward, creating a very wide flat bed, quite high up. I quite like this kind of flat business class bed. Since this is the world's longest flight, I almost expected pyjamas would be provided, at least upon request. However, in a fairly annoyed manner, I was told that there are no pyjamas. It almost felt as if I said something wrong when I asked if they have pyjamas, as the reply wasn't exactly Singapore Airlines like. My theory is that the cabin crew gets asked about pyjamas 67 times per ULR flight, once per business class seat, so they get annoyed about it. Singapore Airlines. How about providing pyjamas on at least the world's longest commercial flight? It not only provides a more comfortable night experience, but it also is a pretty nice souvenir of this special flight. I woke up a few hours later, however without information where we are now. So let's check on Flight Radar again. Wow, it seems I overslept all of Alaska and most of Canada. Time flies indeed, and I almost wished the flight was a bit longer. I didn't think I would ever say that on an 18-hour flight. but I guess that speaks for the quality experience I am having with Singapore Airlines. I kicked off the new day, although because of the international deadline which we just crossed, it's still the same day, with a chicken sandwich which was, well, plain boring, but it did its job. We have less than an hour to go and the world's longest flight is about to come to an end, unfortunately. I spare you my blah blah while we are approaching the New York area during this second sunset on this flight. Welcome to the United States. 18 hours and 40 minutes have passed since I left Singapore and I wasn't bored a minute. I absolutely enjoyed this ultra-long flight with Singapore Airlines and I quite liked the business class seat and the in-flight catering. And I have zero regrets spending my money for this flight. Therefore, I can confirm I certainly would book Singapore Airlines again. 9 out of 10. And so ended my beautiful journey and I was welcomed to the United States with a ridiculous 2 hour and 45 minutes wait in the immigration line. Well, back to the tough reality, I guess. I hope you liked this video and consider hitting the thumbs up button and subscribing to my channel. That would be amazing. Thanks for watching. See you next time. Bye for now.